Yo, this is Deontay from Inselbergmedia, man. Just here reporting on some breaking news. Looks like the governor of Idaho, Brad Little, has signed into House Bill 380, which is going to be increasing the punishments for people who are caught doing lewd actions with children under the age of 12. Me personally, I am a big fan of this bill as someone who is a victim and survivor of sexual assault himself. As a young child, this is something that I see going in the correct direction, making people like myself who are victims of this feel as if it's being taken seriously in society. I don't think people understand the amount of damage that is inflicted on somebody that young for such a traumatic experience, especially as a male being told that it's not even that serious, indirectly or directly through jokes, or sometimes people just being brash and saying, "Hey, get over it, suck it up, Buttercup." But like, you just really don't understand the damage it does for someone of a governor status to take this seriously and go ahead and sign this at a statewide level, making it even eligible for death penalty. This is something I'm fully in favor of. If I'm wrong, hey, let me know in the comments. But we'll just go ahead and start this up by reading the original bill. RS 32524 slash H0380. So that's the state bill. Go ahead and got the code and everything. The state of Idaho is one of the least harsh in the nation for the sentencing of convicted child molesters. This legislation amends Idaho State Code 18-1508 regarding the crimes of lewd conduct with minors under the age of 16. It allows for the jury or the judge to impose the death penalty on a person convicted of certain sexual crimes against children when certain statutory aggravated circumstances are proved. The legislation details the special sentencing processing, evidence presentation, and jury instructions. It specifies the statutory aggravated circumstances that must be proven for the death penalty sentence. Additionally, if addresses the notice of intent by the prosecutor to seek the death penalty and minimum periods of confinement. So it lets you know right there. And there's an also additional fiscal note saying death penalty cases are rarely charged in the state of Idaho and more rarely taken to jury trial. Thus, it is difficult to assess the fiscal note. This legislation may cause indeterminate additional expenditures of funds at the state or local level, depending on the extent of litigation. The state public defender's office will have additional expenditures should a defendant be assigned a public defender by the court. So basically, this is just letting them know, hey, look, if we have to pay the extra amount, it'll be covered by the state or by your local government. So this is by the bill that actually came through, and this is the statement that was given, or I guess this was in the local news or whatever, whoever copied this down. But this was posted by Libs of TikTok, so we appreciate you guys on this. But Boise, Idaho, Governor Brad Little issued an expanded statement today on his signing of House Bill 380 last week, allowing the death penalty for pedophiles charged with aggravated lewd conduct with children under the age of 12 and younger, and strengthening punishments for other convicted pedophiles. Does that mean they're going to retroactively go in and add that? Please let me know what you think in the comments. Just like capital murder destroys lives, aggravated sexual abuse of a young child devastates the victims and their families for generations. The sexual abuse of children is sickening and evil, and predators convicted of these crimes deserve the ultimate punishment. Idaho also just became the only state to make the death penalty by firing squad the primary method of execution. I commend my partners in the legislature for strengthening Idaho's already powerful, tough on crime reputation among the states, Governor Little said. One more state taking it completely serious. Obviously, you have me saying, 100% agree. But I'm actually interested in going back to the original comments on the original post they made back on the 25th, because this would have had some time to marinate. Yes, Lord's work. Thank you, Idaho. This is the right. This is the way. But this is mostly impact the trans and drag community in 3-2. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think people are going to be yelling and running. Even if you support that community, that doesn't mean that you support pedophiles. I'm not even going to run away with that. I won't say that every person in that community is one, but you are more suspicious than others. Yeah, every state needs that. Why not children under 17 and under? This is actually a good question. This is something I was thinking about too. Why does it have to be 12? Who made the cutoff at 12? Because I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, whatever the age of consent is, it should be that age and under. or pretty much like 1 year under that age. I feel like if you're going to do this in every state, if we were going to have this federally enacted, we need to determine what the age of consent is. And then from there, we need to retroactively, not retroactively, but go back and say 1 year below that and below, you basically have to be charged. That basically means no grooming leading up to, no forced marriages through a grooming situation. Like we want all of that, canned out basically. So yeah, every state needs this, but I also want to know why they haven't done the 17. Yeah, this should be the standard, but someone has to do it first. I fully support this. This is true. You should expect more and more red states to be moving in this direction. I think this is what people voted for when they voted for Trump. They voted for more regulations in this direction. Also, it was a vote against the push from the progressives of trying to basically turn gender into some kind of like fluid thing that basically we need to create laws around that fluidity. This is in the right direction when it comes to sexuality and all of this. Actually prosecuting people who abuse the trust of a child. Who cares about all this affirming stuff? This is the real problem that we're having that is not being discussed within all communities. Yeah, who could possibly disagree with this? I would love to see the dissenters of who would be against the law of such a way like this. Yeah, I agree. I don't know about 18, but actually, whatever the age of consent is in your state for sure. Yeah, they should make this federal law. We would have to have more states take this under. But no, this is interesting. I'm reading the comments just in an old post. Let's see what they got. Anything on the new post, but mainly just wanted to get the initial reactions to hearing the news. I'm here sipping my coffee here in North Idaho, wondering when the rest of the country is going to step it up. Yeah, I agree. When are we going to see more and more states? I wouldn't be surprised if Louisiana or Texas probably be one of the next states to see it. Maybe even like Iowa, maybe some states like that. Just the ones that people don't pay attention to the flyover states, or states that for sure have a direction with their politics. Yeah, I wonder who's gonna. I wonder if there's ever gonna be a judge to step in and stop something like this, an injunction of some sort. We're already seeing how they step in with Trump, so who knows? Yeah, man, more people should be following the suit. More states should be following after. It sounds like that's the sentiment going on here, which is great. I'm glad to see it. What do you guys think? Am I being too harsh? Are we too quick to judge these people? Should we give them the ability to turn their life around? What do you guys think? Am I just being too radical about this? Like I said, I have my own personal issues with this. I have my own personal experience with the certain situation like this. Yes, it was a long time ago, but to see that it's taken this long, it sucks. But to see it go in the right direction, I'm happy for the kids that come after me who possibly are going to have to deal with something like this. And maybe if you want to call out your accuser, you know that true justice is on the table, not just. I'm not saying that it has to lead to death penalty, but for this to have never been an option is crazy. And what it really does is it pushes it so that it's not this 4 or 5 year sentence that we normally see, especially in these like deep blue cities or whatever. But like it should be a 20-year sentence for something like this. 25 to life, you know what I mean? If they can't get death penalty, usually it falls into something very equivalent just without the death. So that's what I mean. It needs to be taken more seriously, not just, hey, oh, he did something bad. Oh, maybe he can change. Maybe we can listen, bro. Yeah, we can talk about it. That could be another video. I can go into detail why I'm just so like gung ho in this direction. I can go into full detail on that. So maybe I'll save that for another video. But I'm gonna quit rambling. This is Deontay from Inselbergmedia. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content, and let me know what we could be doing differently. But I appreciate the comments. We always respond. I'll see y'all next time.